Today I'm going to look at the Arrows Cessna 182. So it's a 1 meter wingspan RC airplane. It's quite nicely featured with flaps, and I've actually installed navigation light on the wingtips, and I have a nose light as well. And I've flown this one a few times and have some things to tell about it. But first off, just let's go out and do a flight on this one. So there's a slight breeze, nothing to worry about. So I'm trying to just settle in on the Cessna here. I roll, but this airplane is actually not. I don't think this is a airplane you want to do aerobatics with. I think they like these, just wide turns. Try to fly at more scale is the appropriate way to actually to do this Arrows Cessna. And as you can see, I've actually put black tape on the bottom of the wings just to improve orientation and visibility, and especially a day like this when you have a kind of white grayish sky, the actual airplane does disappear because there are not many colors on this one, mostly white. So it does look a little bit weird without the landing gears, but it was either just to have the landing gears on and risk the nose wheel getting damaged, or just fly without them. So I decided to fly without them. And I actually discovered that this plane is actually a bit difficult to take off from ground. So to hand launch it is maybe a better way to just deal with this one. And I also know that this Cessna does not like to go too slow, because then it will just stall it. So you have to keep speed up. So if I would compare this one to my FMS Ranger 850mm RC airplane, the Ranger is just super nice going slow. You can go so extremely slow with that plane, but this one just needs speed for it to fly good actually. And the power, it's not a powerful RC airplane, so it's just in the middle ground where you want to kind of fly it semi-slow but not too slow. It's not a speedy airplane by any means. So compared to my other RC airplanes, I'm really not too fond of this Cessna. When I bought it, I thought that it would be a really nice, great fly with flaps and everything, but it's not really a favorite of mine. It does look nice in the sky, and I guess if I fly this one on a sunny day, it would look really nice, but today it's a little bit difficult to actually see it because it disappears a bit against these grey-white clouds. So as you can see, I'm actually keeping the speed up. I don't want to go too slow. I actually have the telemetry voltage just giving me feedback of the power pack, the battery inside. I think the prop sound is nice. It's not harsh sounding or anything. It's okay. So I suppose there are actually much better Cessna 182 style RC airplanes, because this one is just, it's nothing special about it. It's not bad, but it's not too great either. So timer is up, so it's time to make a few more turns and get it down. And as I've removed the landing gears, I suppose it will be a kind of uneventful landing, just belly land on the snow. So I will deploy flaps and just line it up for a landing going around to face the wind. So it's kind of slow with the flaps engaged. Just the final approach, then get it down and flare a bit. Yeah, and it's down. So a really uneventful flight, really. So I did enjoy to fly this Arrows Cessna 182, but I have to say the flight envelope is not the greatest one, because you actually have to have some speed to avoid tip stalls, and it's not a super fast RC airplane and agile overall. So if I would compare this one to my FMS Ranger 850, which is also a Cessna kind of like RC airplane, I think the Ranger, the flight envelope is so wide because you actually can go really slow, and when you pick up speed, it's agile, and it's just a bunch of fun to fly it. And on the other end, I think when you have the similar size plane like the E-flite Twin Otter, I think the Twin Otter looks more scale when it flies. It's much more agile and fun to fly. So to me, this one is actually in the middle ground. And as you saw, I did actually fly without landing gears, because this nose gear, the metal pin inside is so weak, so just on a rough landing it breaks, and so far I managed to break 2 of them, so I didn't want to break it, and I had this great opportunity to just fly on top of the ice, where I have no people and I can just do this wide turn. So I just want to show something nice from this one. So that's a really poor thing, the nose gear. But other than that, I think it's quite easy to send. We have 2 wings for the main wing. The rear stabilizer actually just glued in place. The landing gears, this one just slide into place, and you have 2 plastic pieces to hold them. The nose gear, it's actually screwed with 1 screw to mount it. And there's also 2 really nice design choices, and the cowl is held by 2 magnets. So if you remove the prop and spinner, this one just slides off, and then you have full access to the motor, which I think is a really great feature. And inside the cockpit there's actually a plastic tube shaft where you put all the cables. So I have the cables for the flaps, for the ailerons, and for the wing lights I've installed. So it does make for a really clean installation. Inside the cockpit there are no cables and nothing else. And so I run this on my Spektrum AR637T, and I use 2-cell 1300 milliamp batteries. The only place to actually mount the receiver is actually underneath in this hatch. So the battery goes to the front, and right under this mess of cables is the AR637T. And I usually just choose the 637T just because I have the telemetry readout. So I actually do solder in the voltage cable that comes with the receiver to the battery cable. So I have a live readout of the voltage, which I think is a really nice feature. So I actually know when I go too low and I have to land, so I can maximize flight time. But overall, I think it's not the greatest Cessna. It's not bad really, except for the nose wheel, which will certainly break a few more times if I have rough landings. So I mean, that's the Arrows Cessna 182.